What is up, guys? What the fuck? Jeez. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be something spectacular. We're going to be talking about plateaus and what happens when you plateau after you work out for a while and you start to kind of lose that growth spectrum of going in that upwards trajectory. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to give you some advice and ways to improve that so you can continuously grow and gain muscle, lose fat, and just get all around healthier in general. Let's get into the video and let's get into all of these amazing qualities. All right, so I hope you guys are enjoying the lack of content so far in this video, but I really wanted to go over the ability to restructure your workout once you hit a plateau. When it comes to plateauing, there are a bunch of different factors that can go into play with this. One, your exercise routine, your nutrition routine, and your overall sleep routine. All of these things kind of are the biggest picture when it comes to a plateau kind of conversation. And inside of that umbrella of those 3 points, there's hydration, there's food, there's sleep, there's naps, there's all these different subcategories that fall into the major categories of nutrition, exercise, and sleep. The first thing that people forget to realize when they are talking about a plateau is they just kind of give up, all right? That's the biggest thing, and the biggest mistake is most people quit right before they break through. And this is the same thing when it comes to like filming content and everything else in life. Most people stop digging right before they hit the diamonds. And it's the biggest flaw that we have as humans because we think we can't achieve it now. Even I don't want to dedicate any more time to trying to figure out how to achieve it. We're just gonna quit. We're just gonna go cold turkey and say, fuck it, we're gonna go and we're gonna walk away. And then we're gonna come back later, a year later, and try again and hit the same thing and say, fuck it, we're gonna go this way now. And then we're gonna walk back into frame and we're gonna say, okay, maybe I should hire a coach who can help me. And that coach is gonna do that one thing that they hate, and they're gonna say, you just gotta dig deep and change. And people don't like to change. People hate the word change, and that's why I'm here to tell you that you don't necessarily have to change everything, you have to tweak things. Speaking of nutrition, we are going to go into that as our first category, but the first thing we're gonna talk about is what we're doing this weekend. We are going to a food truck festival in my parents' hometown where I grew up, and there's gonna be a shit ton of food trucks of every different type of cuisine. And to list a couple of them:
the Perky Turkey, Travelin' Pizza, Mac and Cheese Please, Wicked Tasty, the Cookie Monster, and Cousin's Maine Lobster. So
those are just a few. There's like 52 other ones that are gonna be there. But those are probably the ones that are the best, because if you haven't heard of the Cookie Monster or Cousin's Maine Lobster, you're missing out. It's a food truck that literally drives around all over the place and sells the world's largest lobster rolls. And the Cookie Monster is the world's biggest and fulfilling cookies, where they're like stuffed with Oreos and all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're like gooey, chewy, and uberly delicious. Good. So nutrition is the biggest of all umbrellas on plateaus, because a lot of people, what they don't understand is eating the same thing every single day is great, okay? Don't get me wrong, there's a bee flying around my head and I'm deathly afraid of bees.
Still there.
Where?
It just flew away.
Eating the same thing over and over and over again can be repetitive. And not only can that get you stuck in a certain way where you kind of develop some type of eating disorder, because all you can focus on is eating healthy, clean, non-flavored food. So not only do you like lose a tolerance to eating real food, you won't eat anything besides grilled chicken and ground beef. Like nothing else. Unflavored, unsalted, it's disgusting. I went through it. Our first date went through it. where I cooked her this glorious meal.
That was Valentine's Day.
Oh, Valentine's Day. Cooked her this glorious meal.
It sucked. It wasn't a glorious meal.
Unflavored chicken.
Plain baked chicken, no seasonings, no salt, no pepper. And then what else?
We had some vegetables. So for me, I mean, I was dieting.
No, we had white rice, not vegetables.
Oh, we had white rice. To me, that was great. I mean, I loved it. Found out 2 years later that she didn't like it. She still married me, so worked in my favor. But nutrition is that thing that can get very, very tricky, because not only can you plateau with the things you're eating, and you start to lose interest in eating healthy because everything you're eating is pretty much fuel. So food is now fuel versus food being flavor. So you're sacrificing so much of your time and your day to just, you know, feel somewhat better. And if you're not going into a bodybuilding show or really trying to lose like 200 pounds, you don't have to go that in depth and crazy when you go into diet phase. Just kind of eat moderately healthy and track your calories. But a lot of people, they get stuck on that, and then the plateau happens when you get sick of eating the same thing and you don't see any changes in your body, and you just kind of give up. And that's not the approach you need to take. The approach you need to take is taking time, slowing down, and understanding that yes, my body is not fully changing with the food I'm eating, but I'm still eating healthy. I just have to either lower or add in more calories, more carbs, more fats, more proteins, delete certain things. And this is why hiring a coach is so vitally important, because they know how to do this on a professional level better than just plug and play on MyFitnessPal. This is where flexible dieting comes into play. Flexible dieting is something that you can do to eliminate that plateau of eating the same thing every single day and not enjoying it. You can go into a more lucrative form of, I'm going to eat whatever I want as long as it fits into my caloric intake for the day. You got 2,000 calories, 5 guys and fries fits in your caloric intake. Boom, have 5 guys and fries. You want a Big Mac? Not the best for you, but if you're craving it and it fits in your caloric intake, you may feel bloated after, but at least you're not going over your calories, and it's calories in versus calories out. We talked about the food consumption. Now we're going to go into hydration briefly. Hydration is super important because not only are you supposed to be drinking X amount of water a day, you don't want to overdo it and get into a mindset that you have to drink water all day long in order to stay hydrated. There was a study that came out a couple months ago that said the first 12 ounces of water that you consume in the day is the only 12 ounces of water that's actually utilized for the minerals and nutrients and funneling through your body. So what the study showed was adding pink Himalayan sea salt into that glass of water allowed your body to absorb that more fluidly, and your body was able to adjust and grow. Drink water right when you wake up in the morning, put 2 to 3 twists of pink Himalayan sea salt into that water, consume it, and feel great. What you shouldn't do is overdrink, because overdrinking can cause your body to drown yourself, and you don't want to drown yourself. Drink your body weight in ounces. That can be tough. Start with half a gallon. That can be tough. Start with 2 water bottles. Work your way up to 3 water bottles. Work your way up to 4.
Buy a cute water bottle.
Buy a cute water bottle that has lines on it that tells you how much to drink. Then work your way up to half a gallon. Work your way up to 3/4 a gallon. Kind of limit there, but also you're going off of your body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you're drinking 100 ounces, which is about half a gallon. Exercise is the next subject that we're going to be talking about. Exercise is probably the most important one, because when you give up on your exercise routine, you pretty much tell yourself that you're not good enough and that you quit at life. And we don't want that mindset or mentality. So we're going to talk about how to progress through a plateau of an exercise routine. And then we're going to get into the third subject, which is sleep and recovery, which is probably my favorite to talk about and my most important one that I kind of hyperfixate on, because sleep and rest really determine if your body will adjust and recover so you can work out and exercise at your fullest extent. But we're gonna get into the exercise aspect of this. We're gonna go work out. We're gonna hit shoulders and arms, maybe legs, depending on how we're feeling. And we're gonna get talking about all the good fun stuff. All right, I'm putting her on the spot for this. If you guys have enjoyed the content so far, give this video a what? A thumbs up. And if you haven't already, what should you do? Hit that subscribe button that's gonna be right there. Make sure you follow along with all the content, because that helps me fulfill my dream of a full-time content creator. Eventually, I'm gonna make millions of dollars off of this, and I'm gonna give it all back to myself. So be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and drop a comment on what you liked so far and what kind of content you want to see in the future. Talk about the biggest thing that people plateau on besides the nutrition that and hydration that we just talked about. Fitness and exercise has to be one of the biggest things that people quit on themselves. You see it yourself. January 1st, enters the gym. January 20th, exit the gym. And you never step foot in it, because either you give up on yourself because you don't know where to go or what to start with, or you go too hard in the beginning and you burn yourself out, which causes you to say, I'm done, I don't like it, I'm hurting, I'm sore, which goes into the topic of rest and recovery, but we're gonna save that for later on. This is the trickiest thing to discuss because it's very, very difficult to get on the right path if you don't have the correct measures. So along with eating healthy and consuming the amount of calories that you need to burn fat and build muscle that we talked about earlier in the video, this has to be the most challenging part, because everybody can eat, everybody can cook, everybody can stay somewhat consistent on a healthy basis. The problem is when you don't see the results in the gym, you start to get a little anxious, you get a little antsy, you get nervous that you're not seeing the correct growth when your friends are doing the exact same thing and they are seeing growth. It's not just you. Just trust me on this. Give it some time. What you're gonna do if you find yourself hitting that plateau is change up your routine. This is why they have mesocycles in your workouts, because a mesocycle is a monthly period of time, usually 3 to 4 months, where you're focusing on a specific style of training. Then your next mesocycle, you go into a separate style of training. Your third mesocycle, another section of training, and then you go back and repeat. And you can change up the exercises in the repetitions, in the sets, and the rest periods, and the periodization. You're going to change up the pyramids of how you're going to be training. Pyramids up, pyramids down, pyramids up and down. Month 1 through 3, hypertrophy style training, high repetitions, high amounts of sets. Month 3 through 6, you're going to do strength training, low repetitions, medium amount of sets. Then mesocycle 3, you're going to do a maintenance level. So you're going to do a basic amount of sets, 3 to 4 sets with maybe 8 to 12 reps, somewhere kind of in the middle between the hypertrophy style, which is 12 to 15 to 20 reps, the strength style, which is 2 to 5 to 2 to 8 reps, the maintenance style, which is that 8 to 12 rep range. That's how you're gonna kind of change up your cycles, but you're also gonna change up the exercises you do. And you can go from just bodybuilding into CrossFit, into powerlifting, into strongman. You can change up the style of your training to match the style of output, your strength cycle, your hypertrophy cycle, your maintenance cycle. That was a lot of info to digest. I understand and I'm sorry, I'm just passionate. I'm passionate about you being able to succeed in your fitness journey. So again, we're gonna recap this whole thing. If you don't see success in the gym, that's okay. Change up your routine, change up your sets, change up your reps, and change up your exercises. Don't give up and don't quit. Just recalibrate and revamp and go into it stronger than ever and continue going, because that's gonna break through that cycle of being mentally stuck and physically stuck, that plateau. The final topic we're gonna talk about is, in fact, so before we get into what we should be doing for sleep and recovery, we're gonna take a quick break from our sponsor, Caitlin, to tell us what we're gonna be having for dinner this week.
We're having homemade chili, lasagna soup, loaded baked potatoes with grilled chicken on them, steaks on the grill, and pasta with meatballs, all homemade.
Now back into the video, we are going to be getting into the final discussion. This isn't really a way to break through a plateau, because this isn't actually a plateau that's breakable. This is more of a final tip on the best approach to enhance your workouts and enhance your metabolic rate, because sleep and recovery is the most important, and I mean that the most important thing for when it comes to exercise, health and wellness, and nutrition. If you are not recovering well, if you are not sleeping well, you are missing out on 80%, not that much, you are missing out on 60% of your gains, your growth, and your mental state, because you are not going to be performing at your optimal and best. You're going to be performing subpar. There's two key components when it comes to sleep and recovery. The first component of sleep is, are you resting enough every single day? Because that alone will enhance your growth, your gains, and your mental state by like 600%. Being able to get a full night of sleep is challenging for most, but when it comes down to, is it worth it long term? Yes, it is worth it. And let me work it.
Let me jump down, flip it, and reverse.
That was me twerking. Can you get 8 hours of sleep? Most of us say no. Can you get 6 hours of sleep? Most of us also say no. But can you get at least 4 hours of sleep every single day? And then on a good day, can you take an hour-long nap? That is most likely very doable. So what I would recommend is get at least 5 hours of sleep a day, and you can probably see some type of success. You're not going to see a lot, but it's something. Definitely try your best. If you are really trying to enhance your overall recovery and health, getting that 6 to 8 hour range, well, it's night or day. Literally night or day. Now here's the second big thing. Your recovery. Are you doing the correct path? Are you taking the correct measures for your recovery to get the best bang for your buck? If not, here's a quick tip. If so, here's a quick tip. All right, so if you're wondering what this quick tip is, it's a bolt of if you're wondering what this quick tip is, this is the quick tip.
You didn't catch me though. Horrible police officer.
And there's your quick tip. But to get into the action, seriously, the quick tip is super important, is to make sure that you are doing ample recovery work, stretch-wise, dynamic warm-ups. Let me catch my breath and I'm gonna explain it. Recovery is vital for your growth mentally and physically. Most people do 2 out of 3 correct. They either do exercise and nutrition, nutrition and recovery, recovery and exercise, recovery and nutrition, or the last one that I'm forgetting. They never do all 3. And because of that, they lack significantly. You want to be capitalizing on all 3 segments, and that's gonna cause you to have an immense amount of stability, not only in your life, but in your growth of gains. To maximize your recovery, it's super simple. You're gonna do some self-stretch routines. I'm gonna have some links right here that are some great self-stretch routines and kind of motions that can enhance that. Super simple, 5-10 minutes a day, that's all you need. Most people forget to do self-stretching. They do some type of dynamic warm-up in the gym and they call it quits. You need to be doing self-stretching, hip openers, chest openers, bird dogs, downward dog, flamingo, rhino, hippo, all those yoga poses. Do things that can help open up your body before you go into activity, and not only are you going to prevent any kind of muscle strain, muscle tear, muscle pulls, ligament tears, and straight muscle like catastrophe. Do your recovery, do your stretching. 5 to 10 minutes a day can almost guarantee you'll see immaculate success. And with that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed the content, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you hit right here, there's gonna be a subscribe button. Hit that. And if you hit right here, what's it gonna be?
Follow button.
No, my latest video.
Sorry.
So let's try that. If you hit right here, what's it gonna be?
Your latest video.
Great, now click that, stay up to date with all my content.
And leave nothing but positive comments.
Yeah, we've had enough bad comments in my history, so positive reviews and comments only. Hit that subscribe button, follow along with more channel content, and let's get into the next video.
We'll tell your weekly recipes next week.
Exactly. Let's get into it. Peace out. Bye.